If you use a mouse for hours every day, whether it's for work, gaming, or creative projects, you've probably felt the strain. Sore wrists, aching forearms, tight fingers. It builds up over time. That's where vertical mice come in. I'm Jonah from the Honest Gadget, and after going over 12 popular vertical mice, from affordable options to high-end ergonomic models, we've narrowed down the best ones. But before we get into our top 4 picks, and some other ones we recommend, do you even need a vertical mouse? Here's what most people get wrong. A vertical mouse won't magically fix your wrist pain. It's not a medical device. And as long as you're doing repetitive movements, even with a more natural grip that vertical mice allow, some discomfort is still possible. If you're dealing with real pain, the most effective solution is rest. Taking breaks, adjusting your posture, and even wearing a brace can do more than any mouse ever will. That said, if you've already dialed in your setup and you still need to be on the computer a lot, and let's face it, most of us are, a vertical mouse is one of the best designs out there for reducing strain in your hand, wrist, and forearm. It places your hand in a neutral handshake position, reduces wrist twisting, and encourages movement from the arm instead of just the fingers and wrist. These subtle changes can go a long way in reducing tension, especially for people dealing with RSI, carpal tunnel, or general fatigue from overuse. Still, vertical mice aren't one-size-fits-all. Some users feel new pressure in the forearm or thumb depending on the grip and angle. So before you buy, make sure it fits your hand size, grip style, and comfort preferences, like the button placement and tilt angle. Alright, let's jump into the best vertical mice you can get. As always, you'll find the latest prices and links in the description below. Let's kick things off with what we think is the best vertical mouse you can get right now, the Logitech Lift. It's proof that you don't have to spend over $100 to get top-tier comfort and performance. Think of it as the smaller, more refined sibling of the MX Vertical, but more on that later. It keeps that same 57-degree handshake angle to reduce wrist strain, but scales the body down for small to medium hands. And yes, there's even a left-handed version. The Lift connects via Bluetooth, or Logitech's newer Bolt receiver, and can pair with up to 3 devices. One AA battery can power it for up to 2 years. You also get magnetic battery access, built-in receiver storage, and seamless multi-device switching. It supports app-specific profiles, DPI up to 4000, and even Logitech Flow, so you can move your cursor and transfer files between computers. Now, it's not flawless. The mouse feet are thin, so glide could be better. The scroll wheel lacks side-scrolling, and the button layout is simple, just 4 programmable inputs. And while the build is solid, it doesn't feel as premium as higher-end Logitech gear, likely due to its eco-friendly recycled plastic. Still, for the price, comfort, and features, the Lift nails it. It's quiet, efficient, and incredibly practical. If you want a vertical mouse that just works and feels great doing it, the Logitech Lift is your best bet. Next up is the Keychron M5, and let's be clear, this isn't your typical vertical mouse. It's doing what no other vertical mouse has really managed until now, delivering true gaming-grade performance in a vertical form. It took until 2025 for someone to bridge that gap, probably because most people don't expect to hear vertical mouse and gaming in the same sentence. Well, truth be told, there is also another competitor in the form of Razer's Pro Click V2 Vertical, which was also released in 2025. But after taking a look at both mice side by side, we found the Keychron M5 to be the better vertical mouse for gaming. The main reason for this is its raw performance. The M5 features a flagship PixArt sensor with 30,000 DPI, click latency under 1 millisecond, smoother gliding feet, and an absurdly fast 8,000 Hz polling rate, compared to Razer's 1,000 Hz. It's also lighter, at just 98 grams versus Razer's hefty 150 grams. And the 47-degree tilt strikes a more natural balance between comfort and control, without the steep learning curve of Razer's 72-degree design. In terms of build, the Keychron M5 is clean, minimalist, and solid, with a matte plastic shell that resists smudges and feels durable despite the lightweight. All these elements come together to create a mouse that moves and reacts faster than any other vertical mouse out there. Specs like this aren't just good for a vertical mouse. They stand toe-to-toe with some of the best gaming mice available. The M5 also lasts up to 140 hours on Bluetooth, can pair with up to 4 devices, and includes a side-scroll wheel for horizontal navigation. The main scroll wheel is decent but lacks tilt and free spin. Now, truth be told, the Razer Pro Click V2 Vertical is still a great pick. It's flashier with RGB and offers deeper customization through Synapse versus the Keychron launcher, but it's also nearly twice the price. And if what you care about most is speed, accuracy, and in-game response, you can't look past the Keychron M5. Before we move on to our next pick, let's address something that comes up a lot. Can vertical mice actually be used for gaming? Like, can you seriously grab the Keychron M5 and expect it to perform as well as a traditional horizontal gaming mouse? Historically, not really. Gaming mice are all about 3 things: speed, precision, and control. And most vertical mice just weren't built for that. The ergonomic handshake grip, while great for your wrist, can introduce slight lateral movement when you click, which makes them awkward in Twitch-based games like Call of Duty, Fortnite, and Overwatch. Add to that the fact that most vertical mice were heavier, slower, and came with low DPI sensors, laggy Bluetooth-only connections, and polling rates that just couldn't keep up with competitive demands. That's why you won't see vertical mice replacing traditional gaming mice at tournaments anytime soon. That said, things are changing. Newer models are starting to close the gap, offering higher-end sensors, better latency, and real performance gains, all while keeping that ergonomic grip. They're still niche in the gaming world, but if comfort is your priority and you're not chasing esports-level reflexes, vertical mice are finally starting to hold their own. Not perfect, but definitely playable. The Logitech MX Vertical is arguably the most popular vertical mouse ever made. Originally released in 2018, it's definitely not the newest kid on the block, but it's still one of the most solid picks out there, especially if you have medium to large hands. The 57-degree angle puts your hand in a relaxed handshake position, and the full-size body offers a natural fit, cradling your palm, supporting your thumb, and keeping your pinky from dragging. It's built for comfort, and it shows. Logitech nailed the build too. The soft-touch matte finish and ridged grip feel premium, and even after months of use, there's no peeling, chipping, or weird wear. You get full support for Logitech's options plus software, letting you remap buttons, adjust DPI up to 4000, create app-specific controls, and use full gesture support like 3-finger swipes. Plus, it works with Logitech Flow, so you can move your cursor and even drag files between multiple computers. Now, it's not perfect. The scroll wheel is basic with no adaptive speed, and it still uses the old unifying receiver, so if your other Logitech gear is Logi-Bolt only, you'll need 2 dongles. But it does support wired use, which is rare and incredibly useful in office setups. Considering the price, it certainly is not cheap, but what you're paying for is reliability, comfort, customization, and a premium build that actually makes work easier. One of the biggest debates in the world of vertical mice comes down to 2 heavyweights from Logitech, the MX Vertical and the Lift. So, we thought we'd discuss the main differences to help you decide which one is right for you. The first question you need to ask is, how big are your hands? The MX Vertical is built for larger hands. It offers a full palm fit, no pinky drag, and plenty of room to grip comfortably for long sessions. The Lift, by contrast, is smaller, lighter, and much better suited for small to medium hands. Both mice use the same 57-degree handshake angle, but the Lift's curvier shape feels just a bit more natural for relaxed grips. When it comes to build quality, the MX Vertical goes all in with a full premium rubber coating, while the Lift uses a mix of rubber and plastic. It still feels solid but slightly less polished. The Lift also uses quieter switches, great for shared spaces, but its side buttons are oddly louder and feel a bit cheaper. The MX Vertical has more traditional, louder clicks, but they're consistent and satisfyingly tactile. In the scrolling department, the Lift has the edge thanks to its smart wheel, which supports smooth gliding and fast flicks. The MX Vertical's wheel is basic, notched and functional, but nothing special. Battery and connectivity also differ. The Lift runs on a single AA battery that lasts up to 24 months. The MX Vertical is rechargeable, lasts about 4 months, and crucially, can be used wired, ideal if Bluetooth isn't always reliable. The Lift uses Logitech's newer Logibolt receiver, while the MX still relies on the older unifying receiver, so keep that in mind if you're already using newer Logitech gear. Overall, the Logitech Lift is the better value for most people. It's more affordable, feature-packed, and fits a wider range of users. The MX Vertical is great if you have large hands or need wired connectivity, but for everyone else, the Lift is the smarter choice. There are a few reliable budget vertical mice out there, like the long-standing Anker vertical mouse or the more recent TechNet model. But the one that really stood out to us was the ProtoArc EM11. This mouse combines futuristic design, smart ergonomics, and surprisingly solid functionality in a way most budget mice just don't. With a 58-degree tilt, the rubberized soft-touch coating, sculpted grip, and 5 glide pads give it a premium feel and smooth tracking. You get 3 DPI levels up to 2,400, silent main clicks, and multi-device support via Bluetooth or a USB receiver. Switching between up to 3 devices is quick, and there's even hidden dongle storage. It charges via USB-C, although it's not usable while plugged in like with the Logitech MX Vertical. Battery life is excellent, with users reporting going months between charges, and the RGB lighting adds a fun touch with 4 preset modes. However, the scroll wheel lacks high-end finesse, it does not have a free spin mode, and macOS users will need third-party software to make use of the orange thumb buttons. You might also experience a slight rocking motion when lifting or readjusting the pointer due to its unique shape. Still, for the price, the EM11 punches way above its weight. For day-to-day tasks like emails, spreadsheets, and browsing, this budget mouse delivers comfort, features, and flexibility that rival far more expensive options. Okay, now here's an interesting mouse, the Evoluent Vertical Mouse 4. We wouldn't say it's one of our best mice, but we decided to include it based on its popularity in community forums like Reddit. If your wrist is seriously hurting and nothing else has helped, the Evoluent Vertical Mouse might be your last best hope. Where most vertical mice stop around 57 degrees or so, Evoluent takes it all the way, closer to a full 90-degree angle. That means your hand stays in a fully neutral handshake position. No pronation, no twisting. There's even a pinky rest so your hand isn't dragging across the desk. You've got options too, multiple sizes, wired or wireless models, and even a left-handed version. That said, don't expect luxury. You're trading speed and polish for posture and pain relief. The plastic feels a bit hollow, there's no companion software, and the cursor tracking is just okay. It's definitely not built for gaming or precision-heavy tasks like design work. Instead, it's best suited for general office work. Think emails, spreadsheets, web browsing, and long periods of clicking and scrolling where ergonomic posture matters more than pixel-perfect accuracy. But that's the point. If you're suffering from repetitive strain injuries like carpal tunnel or tendinitis, or you just want to avoid developing them, this mouse could be a game changer. It's especially solid as a secondary mouse, something you swap in to give your hand a break from the daily grind. We hope this video helped you narrow down the best vertical mouse for your needs, or at least pointed you in the right direction. Whether you're chasing all-day comfort, gaming-ready performance, or some much-needed relief from wrist pain, there's a vertical mouse out there that fits. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the Honest Gadget for more no-nonsense tech reviews. You'll find links to all the mice we mentioned down in the description below. Thanks for watching.